Good morning, Kinder Scholars. Today we're going to continue day 4, or our unit 7 first grade concepts enrichment packet, and we're going to work on day 4. So before we jump in, you will need from your packet that says April 6th through 17th, unit 7, you will need today your day 4 worksheet and a pencil. Again, we know this is our day 4 worksheet because it says Kinder Unit 7, first grade print concepts, independent practice, day 4. So we're going to be using day 4's worksheet today. Okay. Previously, we talked about a fiction book and how fiction is a made-up story. Fiction is made up. We reviewed the 4 elements of fiction yesterday, and we read the wonderful book, How to Say No or Never Say No to a Princess, and we talked about the fiction elements that made that a fiction book. Today, we're going to learn about 2 different kinds of books, okay? The first book will be familiar to you because we've recently talked about it. We did a whole unit on it. That kind of book is nonfiction. Nonfiction. We do have a chant to remember that nonfiction teaches us about so many things. It educates us and lets us know about real information. All information in nonfiction is true. So let's go ahead and do our chant real quick. Ready? Nonfiction teaches us about real things. Nonfiction teaches us about real things. Nonfiction teaches us about real things. Everything in a nonfiction book is true. It is true information that is used to teach you and help grow your brain. We did make an anchor chart for our nonfiction nonfiction books. We know that nonfiction is real, that it teaches us. They can be about weather, animals, people, places, plants, insects, jobs, and other things like volcanoes and planets. So nonfiction is about anything that is real, Some examples that I have that we're going to look at are right here for me. So the first book that we're going to look at is this book right here. It says The Planets in Our Solar System. Scholars, if I read this book, I know that I'm going to find real information that's going to teach me. And even looking at the illustrations, you can see that some of them are pictures because they are real. They are of true things that we have seen or we have experienced in our solar system about our planets. So on this page, we see the meteor and the asteroid and the comet picture. But again, anything that we have in this book is going to be real, and it's going to teach me about the planets. Here's another picture of all the different planets that we see in our solar system. So if I wanted to learn about the planets in my solar system, I could read this book, and I know it would teach me. Another example that I have is this book, Why Do Leaves Change Colors? Again, anything that's in this book is going to be real information, and it's going to teach me about the different seasons that we have and why the leaves change per season, which we've also talked about in the classroom. Again, through this book, I'm going to see some illustrations that were drawn from the illustrator, but I'm also going to see some real pictures of things that are in my everyday life. For example, right here, someone has taken a picture of a leaf and opened it and under a microscope looked at it to tell us the parts. Another picture or another book that's going to teach me about real things is A Tree is a Plant. Trees are real. We can see them. They are a type of plant. This book is going to tell me all about how a tree becomes a plant and what the tree does for my air, what it gives me. So anytime I read a book about something that is real, something that I can see, something that is really happening, I know that's nonfiction. For example, I could write a book about CASA, and I could say that there's 2 kindergarten classes, Cal State and GCU. That Cal State's teacher is Miss Taventure and GCU's teacher is Miss T. That's all real information. CASA does exist. We do have 2 kindergartens right now, Cal State with Miss Taventure and GCU with Miss T. So that's real. So if I wrote a book like that, that would be called nonfiction, and it would teach you about real information. The other kind of book that we're going to talk about that's kind of new is called a how-to book. And scholars, just like its name says, it's going to teach you how to do something. So we see a lot of how-to books for learning how to draw. But I mean, you can get a book on how to write your letters. You can get a book on how to build something, on how to make certain foods, anything that you want to learn. You can find how-to books, and it's going to tell you exactly like its name says, how to do something. So those are the two types of books that we're going to be looking through today. Nonfiction, which is about real information, and how-to, which is a type of nonfiction book because it is real. You're doing something real, and it's going to teach you how to do something. So let's go ahead and jump into our practice today with our worksheet and our pencil. Number 1 says nonfiction must teach us information. Scholars, think about it. What kind of information does a nonfiction book teach us? Does it teach me real information, or does it teach me not real information that's made up? Let's do our chant to remember. Nonfiction teaches us about real things. It teaches us about real information. So we're going to write the word real for number 1. Ready? R, I, E, U, L. Nonfiction must teach us real information. Okay, let's go to number 2. Number 2 says how-to books. So the question says, how-to books must teach us What do how-to books teach us? Well, remember, we've just learned that in the name how-to, it teaches me how to do something. So a how-to book is going to teach me how to do something. So let's go ahead and sound that out and write the words how to do something. That's a lot of words. It's 4 words, but I know we can do it. Ready? Let's sound out the first one. H. Ow, ow, ow. Ow is one of our phonograms that we haven't done in a while. O-W, ow, ow, ow. So we're going to write H-O-W. Now the sight word to. T, and then O. So how to do. Do is just like to. It's a sight word that we need to know. D, and then an O. How to do, and then the last word, something. Let's sound it out. S, U, M, TH, ing. ING says ing. Those are the ing brothers. So how-to books must teach us how to do something. Again, parents, you'll notice that we are not spelling these correctly. We're going to be working on spelling them phonetically for the sounds that we hear, which is appropriate at this time. All right. So nonfiction teaches us about real information, and how-to books teach us how to do something. All right. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 has a picture of a book right there. It says Little Kid's First Big Book of Space. Let's read the text next to it. Oh, that tells us the name too. Little Kid's First Big Book of Space. What kind of book is this, scholars? Is this a how-to book or a non-fiction? Look at the book. It says Little Kid's First Big Book of Space. Is that teaching you how to space? No, it's not teaching you how to space. But is it teaching you real information about space? Say, oh yeah. So when it's teaching me real information about something and not how to do something, we know that is nonfiction. We know that is nonfiction. So for that one, we're going to circle the letter B. Go ahead and circle B, nonfiction. Let's look at number 4. Number 4's book says it's how to draw vehicles, land, sea, and air. Now, that title gave us a hint. It says how to draw. So scholars, what kind of book is this? Is it A, how to, or B, nonfiction? Is this book teaching me how to draw something, or is it teaching me about the vehicles that I might see? In the name, it says how to draw. So we know this is a how-to book. So we're going to circle the letter A for this one. This one's not teaching me about the vehicles that I'm going to see, but it's going to teach me how to make them. So that is a how-to book. Let's do number 5, 6, 7, and 8 with you trying on your own before Miss T gives you the answer. So let's look at number 5. Number 5 says, what kind of book is this? This book is called How to Draw, Decorate Cupcakes. So how to draw, decorate cupcakes. Think of that title. Think of the clue you hear in it. How to draw, decorate cupcakes. Do you think this is A, a how-to book, or B, a nonfiction book that's going to teach you about them? Think about the name, How to Decorate Cupcakes. Go ahead and circle your answer if you think it's A, how-to, or B, nonfiction. Okay, so this is a how-to book. It says how-to in its name, so you should have circled A. This book is going to tell me how to decorate cupcakes and how to draw cupcakes that have decorations on them. Number 6, what kind of book is this? Number 6 says, I am Mala. It shows me a picture of a girl. Her name is, or the title of the book is I Am Mala. One girl, sorry, I can't read this upside down. How one girl stood up for the education and changed the world. So this book is about a girl named Mala and how she stood up for education and changed the world. So, is this a how-to book that's going to teach me how to do something? Or is it a nonfiction book that's going to teach me real information? Go ahead and make your choice. Think if it's A, how-to, or B, nonfiction. Okay. You should have circled B, nonfiction. This is a nonfiction book about a little girl and something that she did to change how education is and the world. So this book is teaching me about real things that happen. It's a nonfiction book. Let's go to number 7. What kind of book is this? We see a picture of a tree and it says from pit to peach tree. From pit to peach tree. Do you think that book is A, a how-to book, or B, nonfiction? Is it A, going to tell you how to do something? Or B, is it going to tell you how the pit changed from a pit to a peach tree? Go ahead and choose your answer if you think it's A, how-to, or B, a nonfiction book. Okay, so for this book, scholars, you should have circled B, nonfiction. This book is going to teach you about this book is going to teach you about peach trees and how they grow from a small pit into a huge tree. Okay, last one, number 8. Number 8 says, how to play football. Think about that title and those little clues you heard. You just heard it say, how to play football. What kind of book is this? A, how to, or B, nonfiction? Think about the title. It says, how to play football. Is this book going to teach you how to do something like playing football? Or is it going to give you real information about playing football? Go ahead and make your choice if it's A, how to, or B, nonfiction. Okay, so for this one, you should have circled the letter A. This is a how-to book. It's going to tell you how to play football. It says it right in the name, how to play football. And it's going to show you all information. Usually, remember, how-to books will say how to in the name or the title of the book, and nonfiction will just give us real information. So there are 2 types of nonfiction books that we are working on right now, a regular nonfiction and a how-to. Nonfiction books teach us about real things. Nonfiction teaches us about real things, and how-to books teach us how to do something. It will say it usually in the title. How-to books are a type of nonfiction book because they are real. It is teaching you something that you can do, and it is a type of nonfiction book that will show you how to do something. I hope you've enjoyed day 4, and I will see you soon for day 5.